He's the great media and politics writer for The Hill, friend of the show for a long time. He is Joe Ferullo, everybody. Joe, welcome back.
This is great, Mark. To be here with the OG KGO folks is fantastic. So congrats.
Thank you, pal. Thank you. This is really an exciting new project.
Before we get started.
Yes, sir.
What does a Christian ventriloquist do exactly? Is the puppet?
That's why I want to see it. That's why I want to see it.
Right? Is the puppet like John the Baptist? I don't understand.
Oh, that's good.
I think he's levitating. Maybe he's walking on water.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I don't. Well,
there's a lot of room to run. There's a lot of room to run. Let's be honest. I think I'm not in the least bit disparaging of it. I really mean it. I'd love to see it.
It's Jerry Falwell. Yeah. We're going to do Jerry Falwell. I don't understand.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we do something called televangelist theater on this show regularly, where we feature a lot of the televangelism, and that can really get kind of extreme and out there. I have actually a really great couple of cuts. Maybe we'll get to them tomorrow. But I imagine that that there's also a tamer kind of offering, and maybe he falls into that category, you know.
Okay. All right.
But I would love.
Let's track him down and go see him. He's got to be playing somewhere.
I say this to you with the solemn pledge. I would go to see the Christian ventriloquist, not out of mockery, but really out of curiosity. And if we're in the same town with the Christian ventriloquist, maybe we can go together.
Amen.
You're a Catholic, and I know, maybe some of the stuff you can explain it to me, as a godless heathen. So I want to ask you first about, and I want to get to the way the midterms are being covered. Yep. I want to first ask you, because I promised everyone I would, ask you about the Judge Judy 80th birthday party. Where did she have it?
Pretty fantastic. It was at the Peninsula Hotel, which is a fancy schmancy Beverly Hills hotel that she's always liked. But here's the plot twist. It was a country western themed party. So
why?
In this like super upscale Beverly Hills hotel, everyone, all of her friends, all of us are dressed in flannel cowboy shirts, jeans, and boots.
I love that.
Cowboy hats.
What?
Yeah. And who was in attendance when you say all of her friends? Like, what kind of people were there?
Most of them were people. I mean, look, most of them are folks that you and the audience don't care about. It's like former CBS execs she's known, people from Paramount. But one of the big stars there was Amy Poehler, who is a huge fan. She and Amy Schumer are like mega fans of Judy's and have come to the show, just sat in the audience and watched it. Come back into the green room. I was there when Amy Schumer was there, and it's just they're giddy. They can't believe they are in the presence.
Wait! I'm a super fan of Judge Judy. You never invited me to sit in the audience.
Yeah, but,
I would have loved to have done that.
Well, you never asked, and B,
that is true. I never asked.
I wouldn't have let you because you would have done something inappropriate. Because that's who you are.
You didn't trust me? Oh my God! All right.
You probably would have brought a gavel and started banging it on the chair. And
all right. That's not me. But all right, anyway, continue. So she's got this following from Amy Poehler, and so Poehler was there at her 80th birthday.
She had this great band from Wyoming that she flew down to play.
Is she a country western person? Why country western? Why?
I'm not sure. She has a house up that way somewhere in Wyoming or Montana. Forgive me, I don't know where it is. But I think she's kind of gotten into country western from that.
Wow. Well, that's really cool. I think it's so. Aside from Judge Judy and Amy Poehler, were there any other of her syndicated pals, like the Dr. Phils of the world, or any of them?
Here's the thing.
Rachel Ray. I don't know.
No. You would think, but they don't all hang out together the way comedians hang out together at the bar before a show.
I see.
And when you're as extremely, what's the word I'm looking for, competitive as Judge Judy is, you don't even want to acknowledge their existence.
Oh, that's good.
So no, none of those people were there.
Well, I when you put it that way, I makes you don't want.
I don't want to hear
on
you.
your birthday. You don't want anybody stealing the limelight from you necessarily.
And I don't know if she's posted any photos. Probably not. She doesn't do that kind of. She looks amazing, Mark. Yeah. I mean, she's 80. She works out an hour every single morning, but like really works out. Not like she walks around the block with the dog. She really works out. She looks fantastic, and danced her heart out all night long. It was amazing.
So she still has her show on Amazon, is it? The Judge
Right.
Judy show has migrated to Amazon, right?
There's a different title. I think it's called Judy's Justice, but it's basically the same show, the same format, and she's doing it on
And
Amazon.
her old shows have been bundled by the place you used to work, I think, and they're being syndicated as well, aren't they? Or they're being aired somewhere.
So CBS owns her library of the Judge Judy show. And so they keep running, basically in the same time period that folks have always seen it. And it is still week after week the highest rated show in daytime television. So it's pretty incredible.
It's terrific. And that's really cool to hear. And I have to say that when you watch old Judge Judy episodes, which I've done for hours, actually, I used to record them, but it was filling up the disk space because there's so many of them. There's Judge Judy on screen for those of you watching on YouTube. The old episodes, which you can needle drop, just put on any old one. You don't remember how they turned out, and I watched a lot of Judge Judy, and so it completely feels like an evergreen. You have that stuff in that library forever.
Absolutely. No, it'll be like I Love Lucy shows, Mark. Long after you and I are gone, those things will still be on the air every day and every night. Yeah.
You saw the bailiff. Was it Judy's bailiff? Who was that bailiff involved in that controversy? You must know about this, Joe. There was a bailiff in one of these TV court shows.
Yeah, hold on. Why am I blanking on the
Yeah,
name?
and so Judy, I thought it was Judge Judy. Kim, maybe you can check this, or John, maybe you can check
Google it.
Who asked, said something, the defendant, or whatever, the person speaking to the judge, Judge Judy, I thought it was, says the bailiff doesn't look very happy, or something like that. Made some comment about the bailiff not being happy. Isn't that what it was? And then
No, that one I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay. This is, and then as it turns out, I tweeted it somewhere there, and it's Googleable, but turns out that and Judy kind of looks and says, "Well, he's okay. He's and it might not have been Judy, but I'm just using Judy in this in this description." And oh no, that's those are famous. There she is, Judge Judy lines underneath her. But the bailiff then cut to is in his own court case and is accused of murder, as I recall. Again, it would be better if I could actually
Google it.
No, that's not it. No, that's not.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about.
Oh, wait a minute. Tony, I think, has found it. Tony, did you find it?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Tony is the best. Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah. Tony's looking for it, and we'll find it. But essentially, it's a bailiff in one of these TV shows, and these judges. Here it is. It is Judge Judy. Check this out.
No,
No,
it
it's
was
not?
Christina's. It was Christina's court.
Oh, Christina's court. Okay.
So another one.
Thanks, Tony.
Okay. Check this out. This is worth the wait, and everybody listening and watching.
Like a child in my
People in
own house.
love, they yell at each other all the time.
Oh, that's true. Ask him, he's been married for how long?
Over 20-something years.
Gesturing to the
Look
Look at
bailiff.
him though. He
Ask
look
him.
mad. You don't look happy, brother. You don't look happy.
He's very happy.
Min Chow, a former TV show bailiff and current Harris County deputy charged with his wife's murder, now ordered not to attend her funeral. Bernard's.
That is the bailiff.
That's a good one.
He's accused of murdering his wife. So that guy who said he doesn't look happy, he was right.
Wow.
Great grab, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah,
This is great. Thank you, Tony. Normally, Mark, I don't like that kind of dead air on broadcasting, but that was a good payoff. So
That was good. Sorry. Yeah. No. This is. I'll tell you. I'll tell you the other thing about this show, which is really it's all in education. It's got a different vibe, and you as a media, somebody who opines on media, you know this. The YouTube environment is sort of more tolerant of things like. Let's try to find this now, and I can have longer conversations. We can run much longer clips. I ran a long clip from The View. We ran a long clip from Fetterman this morning. So you can do more of that on YouTube, I think.
This is. I mean, listen. Your KGO show was genius, and you know that you're great at what you do. You're great. This is better in a lot of ways because it even shows more of what you can do. There's a lot of, what you call breathing space in it, where, like you said, you can run a long clip. You can talk a little bit at length about things. It's fantastic.
We can see the Emmy on your shelf.
It does.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you quickly about the midterms and the way
Sure.
things are being covered in media. Give me some takes on what's happening.
You know, it's interesting. I know that you guys spoke to Jim Avila a little earlier about the Fetterman thing, Fetterman-Oz debate. I think it's very interesting what's going on there, which is the media is kind of nervous about talking about Fetterman's disability, right? Because most people in the media don't think you ought to make a big deal out of that, rightly so, but yet they keep mentioning it. They keep making it the lead story of today. It was all about his stumbles and things, which, as he's explained, as the media had to apologize for a week or two ago, they're not cognitive stumbles as much as that it takes him a moment to read what's going on and process it. So, and it's a temporary disability, he assures everyone, okay. But yet the media keeps saying, because that's the only new thing about all of this really, is, oh, here's how he did this time. Here's how he did this time. Here's his stumble this time. It's like focusing on Biden's stumbles all the time. It becomes its own story, even though they keep saying that's not what we want to do.
And it's funny, too, that you mentioned this, because I had this thought as I watched the debate last night. Imagine going into debate as anyone without any kind of deficiencies that have been brought on by a stroke.
Right.
Imagine going into a debate and being told all they're going to do is scrutinize when you flub any word or any thought. So that they're really, whatever you do, don't mess up any word or any thought. That additional pressure, that alone would probably make you boot a couple of sentences. Now, add to that your inability to express yourself in some ways brought on by this stroke. And I think you just have this recipe for a kind of a car crash quality, which is what I felt the media was. Don't get me wrong. This is a legit high-profile thing. It's why you're so the person to talk to about this, because it legitimately is an important political race. And yet, and there's legitimacy to unprecedented legitimacy, I'd suggest, to someone having a stroke recently enough that it affects their performance on stage. And then you have this media environment that you, as you suggest, is focusing in some way or another first on, is this guy fit for office?
Exactly. And so that becomes the main narrative of every story. And then literally bullet points of, oh, by the way, here's where they disagreed on major policy points, or here's what Oz said this time versus what he said last time, all becomes secondary, right? The first 7 paragraphs of the story or the first 2 minutes of the CNN piece is, how did he do with his stumbling? Which just elevates it and makes it his complete identity as a human being, which disability advocates have long said, please don't do that. Don't make it all about that, right? I have a brain, I can function in society, don't do that to me. And yet that's exactly what's being done.
So that race is, and of course, Oz, of course, is this guy who's, essentially grown up in the adult world of his career. I'm talking about the chapter of the career involving the media. He's grown up in this environment. He was a little awkward also when he first showed up on Oprah's show, but then he really smoothed out. And of course, now he's like, it's like watching a Fred Astaire tap dance. He's so comfortable on camera. So you've got one guy who really doesn't have any, to extend the metaphor, can't dance anymore, or at least right now because of his stroke. Right. The other guy is like a world-class dancer. It's difficult to watch.
Yeah, it really is. And it's that one of the arguments there could be, Mark, is who's more authentic, right? That a lot of times swing voters look for authenticity. Are you showing me who you really are? And I thought Fetterman did a very good job right from the top saying, look, here's what you're going to see tonight. It's not going to be fun a lot of times.
Right.
But Oz is a very slick performer. In the past, slick has not done well. People feel like slick is artificial. And that was very, very much what you saw in terms of the contrast between the two of them. How will voters display it? Who knows? Everyone seems
Meanwhile,
so
you've got... in Georgia, you've got Warnock and Walker. I mean, Walker's excuse, I don't know what it is. At least Fetterman has the excuse of stroke. Walker's all over the road, but I will tell you this, and I told the audience this after having watched that Walker debate. I was expecting Walker to trip all over himself. Now, don't get me wrong. He's clueless and just mentions GOP talking points and really defaults to them, but he does it effectively. He does it effectively, meaning if you want to hear that basic talking point, it's not articulated eloquently and beautifully, but it's articulated. Walker's going to maintain that.
Mark, that's and I don't disagree with you, except that now you've lowered the bar so much, which is what's happening in the Trump GOP, in terms of their quality of candidates, that even McConnell has said we got a candidate quality problem. But again, if media analysts and political analysts keep lowering the bar to the point where Walker does a great job if he hasn't admitted to having yet another kid he didn't know about. Okay, then he wins. Then he wins.
And Carrie Lake, I want to just mention her on the way out here. She's the attractive candidate. I mean, what she spews is utter BS, and it's beyond GOP talking point. She's a kind of a reconstituted MAGA Republican, but she is a great package, right? Because she's been on television for decades now. They know her in Arizona, and she's making a real charge. Many in the Republican Party look at her as the future.
Yeah, no, and it's all about the package. I agree. What you might expect from that kind of that stuff coming out of her, you might expect a Marjorie Taylor Greene person who's just bitter, angry, boom, just wears it out there on their sleeves. She's got that together package, right? That anchor package, so that she can say some really, really crazy out there stuff, but in a very nice, reasonable tone of voice, looking very, very reasonable. So you're right. The package is really important and could be a template for that wing of the party going forward. Exactly.
I mean, if you can pull back the crazy sound and deliver it in this sort of very together way, yeah, it's a totally different game. So
they pay me a lot of money for having attitude.
Yeah.
Throw a little polish on there, and people believe them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we love the Judy insights. We loved you, Judge Judy, on this show. Please pass along our best wishes to the judge.
We'll do that.
And by the way, Judy's bailiff, didn't he have a show also, or wasn't there talk that he was going to get a show?
He got all kinds of angry. He did some interview with, I think it was the LA Times, I'm not sure, about how angry he was that he did not get selected to go over and do the new Amazon version of her show.
Oh, she left her bailiff behind, man.
Listen to me. I don't want to hear you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who knows what was going on in chambers? I mean, that's crazy.
Bird.
They always got along, but maybe secretly they didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a big move. It was a big move to go in another direction with that.
Well, I love that you join us and continue to join us. Come visit again, especially after the midterms. We'll talk about how the media's handled all of that. He's Joe Ferullo. You can find him on Twitter at Ironworker1. Joe Ferullo, everybody. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Mark. This is great. Congrats, pal. Continue good luck.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the love. Appreciate that.